a very important aspect. And form, feature, performance, durability, conformance, reliability, repairability, style, and customization are important aspects that are there. In the context of service differentiation, we have seen that services also can be differentiated in the context of how easy it is to order a specific type of a service, what exactly is delivery in the context that how can you quickly get the product delivered at your convenience for your utility. Also, we try to see certain aspects associated with installation. That is, a product, if not installed properly, may not give you the due service that exactly it is supposed to give you, and may not conform to the quality which exactly it has been promised and the reason why the product has been bought. So that is the reason why, many people, they get into the aspect of training and retraining customers. In fact, if you look at certain type of organizations like Eureka Forbes, they started with something called the Euroclean, wherein they decided to send their representative with their vacuum cleaner because it was a new product, new concept for house cleaning. They decided to send the person along with the device to your home to demonstrate the product, to try to tell you how to actually use the product. And when you actually use the product, you knew the correct method of using, how to discard the bags, that is the dust bag, how to assemble it, what are the different accessories for different type of cleaning purposes, whether to use how to use the blow end or the suction end of the vacuum cleaner, and so on and so forth. So effectively, even when you have purchased a product, like there are certain products which you cannot DIY, do it yourself, or installation is required. Let's say, for example, you want to have a RO unit, that is a reverse osmosis unit, which has to be installed in your home for providing you potable, pure drinking water. In that context, you need to get somebody which exactly the person who's going to first come to your home will try to do a TDS check. That is total solvent dissolved solvents which are there in your current supply water, that exactly would be checked. And on the basis of the TDS level, they would try to recommend which exactly is the stage of filter that you exactly require, which RO is actually unit is recommended. Then when you exactly get an RO unit in place, then again the person would try to tell you what exactly is the best time and how to actually see to it that the different type of filters, how they are actually replaced, which is not a product that you can actually do it on your own. So you require some level of assistance. Now this exactly is where installation, customer training, and consultancy comes into it, because if it is not done, then probably the chances are that the product that you're using, you'll be dissatisfied with the product because you'll not get the benefits that the product has actually promised to give you and take care of the different type of solutions that exactly it's trying to provide. Now, in that context, when we decide to look at certain type of consultancy, now customer consulting is another very interesting area where service differentiation is happening. So let's say, for example, if I would like to get myself, why exactly consultancy is vital in the context of a service as a service differentiator. So let's say, for example, I would like to be advised as to what exactly is the best type of a financial product for me. So they might like to seek certain type of queries from me, like things like what exactly is the size of income that you have? What exactly is the disposable income that you have? Are there any instruments that you're already investing in? Okay. Also, they might like to find out about my liabilities that exactly are there. How many family members are there? What is the ages of the family member? So exactly, they would try to assess the amount of liabilities that exactly I have, at what stage of life cycle I am, what exactly is the amount of money that exactly I'm drawing, and how much amount of it is actually ready to be invested. Also, they would like to look at my risks level. That is, they would try to understand my risk level, wherein exactly they would try to see my risk coverage, risk level, and risk exposure, where they will try to see how exactly I try to mitigate the different levels of risk and investment in terms of the different type of commitment that I have over different timelines. Let's say, for example, they might suggest, okay, are you covered with something called as health insurance? Because definitely at a certain age, a person might require more amount of investment in terms of health insurance. Then they might like to know whether I would like to go in for some sort of an educational loan or things of that sort and so on. They might even ask me how many credit cards I actually carry. All these things are actually required in order to customize a product design for me, especially in the context of a financial product when they basically. So a lot amount of consultancy is also an important aspect which can act as a service differentiator. Also, things like maintenance and repair. Now, maintenance and repair, you must have generally seen that generally products which come with something called as AMC, annual maintenance charges are incorporated into a product. Like, let's say, for example, if you're buying a air conditioner, they might, or if you're buying a product which requires a regular maintenance, cleanliness, so they will give you 2 services or 3 services free because it requires to be the filters need to be clean, and because they get choked because of the dust that exactly it actually acts as a suction unit when exactly it's trying to clean your environment. So of course that requires some level of cleaning. So here is where AMC comes in. Or let's say, for example, even if you have a computer, if you have an organization which has a number of computers, so definitely over a period of time these computers they generally slow down. So you require a technician who comes and cleans up all the computers, removes all the unused files from the cache memory. He or she takes care of cleaning the device physically, as well as troubleshooting any sort of a problem that you might be encountering, or let's say, for example, providing any sort of consumables. Let's say, for example, you've got a printer and you want to have a cartridge replaced or get any sort of a virus that exactly has been attacked your machine, or some sort of a data compromisation has happened. So effectively you require somebody who comes and does this sort of a maintenance and repair on a regular basis and keeps your business running smooth, because you would leave that part of hardware service to some sort of a professional, and that exactly is where maintenance and repair comes. So it basically tries to act as a service differentiator for say. Then comes something called as returns. Let's say, for example, there is a context that is you are getting a product and you really don't want the product. You feel, let's say, for example, this happens generally with gifts, when, let's say, for example, you have a event and 5 people have gifted you the same product. Now you really don't need, let's say it's a mixer grinder and 5 mixer grinders have come to you. Now what are you going to do with those 5 mixer grinders? So you would definitely like to get it returned. So you can try to look at the different channels that exactly exist where exactly these products can be exchanged for something else. Probably you can exchange it for some sort of another product that you probably might like to have it for that value, or you don't like that product and you would like to get it replaced. This is also happening with different type of replacement products. Like, for example, you've purchased a product from Amazon and Flipkart and you feel that your product does not actually give you the real level of service that it's supposed to give you, or for that matter, you do not feel you need that product. The time when you wanted to order it, you had a need, but the time when the product has come, you have lost the utility for that product and you require to return it. So is the procedure for return always there? If the procedure for return is there, then probably you'll be very, very satisfied that yes, the product is actually doing a great job and exactly it's taking care of your return as well. So you basically are feeling that your money is safe, and that can be a service differentiator per se. Now, I did talk to you about something called as the case study of Mercedes-Benz, wherein we tried to see that they decided to look at all the different dimensions in order to give the person who's exactly an owner of this brand some sort of peace of mind. So coming down to the different aspects which we have already discussed in our earlier class, we looked into the aspect of design, wherein I decided to bring up this context of Hawkins Futura, which is actually a design classic from the Indian case study wherein we saw that Hawkins actually has a wonderful design when it comes to the pressure cooker, and so much so that this Futura brand of pressure cooker is actually placed in the Museum of Modern Arts in New York. So that's basically the element of excellent designing that has gone into the aspect. So technically, when we're talking about design, it talks about being emotionally very powerful, transmitting the meaning of the brand or position, important in the context of a durable good, simply because for a service, it's very difficult to define design, but specifically in the context of a durable good, design plays an important role because it couples with the functionality of the product, the utility of the product, the cost effectiveness of the product, the longevity of the product, all these things, the replaceability of the product, all these dimensions are associated with the excellent design. So National Institute of Design has been created for different design related good designing reasons. Then it makes a brand experience very, very rewarding if the product is very properly designed. Also, it can transform an enterprise. So you see, many a times what happens, even the logo of the organization is also redesigned. If you would have seen certain type of logos which exactly are there, they exactly have a redesign which is done in the context of a logo. Also, it facilitates the manufacturing and distribution process and can take on various type of approaches per se. Coming down to another important aspect that we is that exactly is there, which people feel is a very interesting area to actually study. It's all about something which is called a luxury brand, because this also is a specific niche segment which actually people are purchasing and people really want to purchase. And you might feel that it's not for the common masses, but then there is a market that exists for luxury brands. So here, basically something on the context of a luxury brand is where you decide to look at certain type of products which exactly are very distinct, and they send a distinct sort of a signal to the type of the people who exactly are owning those products. So, so much so, we would be looking at how exactly they are differentiated. So, the first important aspect is that quality. Of course, quality is very different from the conventional goods because quality is an important aspect which exactly is differentiator for the luxury brands. Uniqueness. Uniqueness is again an important aspect when it comes to the product has to be very unique. It is not generally for the masses, so it's very limited edition. In the context, you've got also craftsmanship. Of course, something very customized for its owners. You have some level of uniqueness because that exactly is how you'd like to be differentiated from the general mass. Of course, it may have a heritage value, authenticity, and history. All these things actually are there. Like, for example, I'll give you the example of a product like Sub-Zero refrigerator. Now, Sub-Zero refrigerator, Sub-Zero, they sell refrigerators that range from $1,600 for small under-counter types to $12,000 for its specialty Pro 48 model with a stainless steel interior. The target is homeowners with high standards of performance and design who cherish their home and they buy to furnish it. Sub-Zero extensively surveys this group as well as kitchen design, architects and retailers who plan for and sell their products. Another product that I'm going to discuss about you is something on Hearts of Fire Diamond. Now, this is by the brand called De Beers. You all must have heard about this brand called De Beers. It's a brand which actually is about selling these exquisite diamonds. And De Beers, they brought branding to diamonds decades ago. So De Beers, they started branding diamonds. And they're making a lot of symbol of love and commitment in the part of its diamonds are forever. If you look into this sort of a branding that they have, this sort of a branding that diamonds are forever, ad, and it campaigned in the year 1948. The marketeers of Hearts of Fire diamond have found a market niche as the world's most perfectly cut diamond. Although diamonds have become increasingly commoditized on the basis of the four C's, you all must be knowing that diamonds can be categorized on the basis of cut, clarity, color, and carat. These are basically the four levels in which how you can actually rate the diamond. That is the aspects of diamond. But Hearts of Fire has a unique heart and arrow, which exactly design, which when viewed from a magnified from the bottom, they actually, if you look at it from the bottom of the diamond, you can actually see that there are 8 perfect hearts which appear on from the top. 8 perfect fire bursts you can see in those diamonds and sold through independent jewelers. So Heart of Fires command a 15% to 20% premium over the comparable diamonds from Tiffany and Company. So definitely people who actually can afford a diamond are for their accessories or jewelry are basically people who are elite and who have got a lot of wealth which they can actually demonstrate for showing off their extravagance and showing off their luxury. But then even within diamonds also, it is these luxury brands, like for example somebody going for these Hearts on Fire diamond by De Beers, that's basically being sold not at every jewelry store but probably one of the best, like even if you're looking at a high premium store like Tiffany and Co, they basically are selling it, or probably that's basically the location where they exactly are putting, they have got a De Beers outlet, and where basically they are having this sort of a premium brand for the luxury brands. So effectively, that's basically how you have got different type of clientele for different type of products and for niche products per se. So you can have products for the general mass, you can have products for the the consuming mass, you have products for the people who basically are value for money category, or people who basically have are trying on the economy side, or probably people who exactly are also looking for some sort of an exclusivity in the context of luxury brands, owning some sort of a luxury brand and using it as an heirloom or trying to reflect their heritage or distinction in the society and so on and so forth. So coming down to one very important aspect at this point of time is the relationship that exactly exists between products and their brands. So we would be trying to look at how this sort of a relationship actually exists between the different type of products and brand. Now here is something very interesting that I would like to bring into play. It's something on the context of environmental issues. That is, we exactly have to be committed not only to the needs and wants of our consumers per se, but also we have to look into the society at large, the entire ecosystem, the entire environment at large, that also must be taken into account. And that exactly brings us to the central concern of environmental issues. In fact, let me tell you that environmental issues have gained so much importance of trying to save our earth that there have exactly been certain products which exactly have been done away with. You must be looking at the different type of refrigerants. Like for example, we used to use earlier Freon, the gas for refrigeration. That exactly does not exist anymore, because as a refrigerant, simply because that was found to be bad for the ozone layer, because they would punch a hole in the ozone layer, making more of ultraviolet rays coming into the earth, causing many people to be infected with cancerous cells on their skin. Skin cancer was one of the basic aspects of ozone hole, and also greenhouse gases actually. So effectively, if they try to do away with certain type of products which had such sort of refrigerants. So today, the air conditioning, they switched on to ammonia and to other type of refrigerants, which basically were new product extensions, and they basically more successful. So today, you do not have any sort of such CFC, that is chlorofluorocarbon, or even perfumes, like certain type of perfumes which exactly were having a detrimental effect on the ozone layer, they were done away with. So effectively, you have to be very careful about the also. Recently, there's been a huge amount of aspect which you must have seen with your Bharat, uh, the certification, the that exactly is there for the different type of automobile combustion engines. Recently, diesel engines were done away with. That today they're not going to have certain vehicles. They have just stopped the diesel lines. The entire platforms on which automobiles based on diesel engines were being made, they have been done away with because they were thought to be more combustion, which are spewing in lots of unburnt gases into the environment and causing lots of pollution. And that pollution was actually a reason where basically they migrated to products like electric vehicles. So electric vehicles, and also like you had the CNG, compressed natural gas, was replaced for these fossil fuels, and then we have got electric vehicles which are exactly coming into play. So environmental issues are also playing an increasingly important role in the product design and manufacture. Now recently, you must have seen the amount of havoc environment actually causes these type of aspects, especially the pirali burning that exactly happens in after winter, when we basically facing, this entire North India has been facing, covered with smog from the spirali burning that is happening in different farmers. Actually, they're burning these shafts of wheat, and they're causing a huge amount. So basically, they started trying to find out alternate use for these products. When they're trying to use these straws, reinforcing it with mud and using it as reinforced mud in order to make it wide utilitarian, and also do away with certain type of economic damage, the damages that are there. So coming down to something which is called very important at this perspective, is looking at the product hierarchy. So this product hierarchy is the most important aspect that we need to understand, because we need to actually understand what exactly is this product hierarchy. The starting point is the need family. Now, the need family is generally associated with the core need. That is the existence of the product family. Like, let's say, for example, the need for security, okay, the need for nutrition, the need for some sort of locomotion. All these things are the need family. Then we come to the next level, that is called the product family. So from the need comes the product family, and the product family is all the product classes that can satisfy the core need with a reasonable effectiveness. For example, if I'm talking about security of a family, then the need is a security, and the product would be all the different type of products which exactly are catering to this need. That is, it could be in the terms of savings and incomes. So we would be looking at the product family in terms of saving and income. Now we migrate to the next level, which is called as product class. So the product class would be different type of products within the product family, and this is recognized as certain function coherence in the product family. Like, for example, now we are looking at financial instruments, like the different type of investments that we will be doing in order to take care of the product family, in order to take care of the need family. So we'll be looking at the different type of instruments, financial instruments which exactly are existing. Now we come to the next level, which is called as the product line. So product line are group of products within the product class, so that are closely related to each other, providing a similar type of a function, and sold to the same consumer group, and marketed also probably from the same outlet or channel. Also, you can also say that it falls within the same price bracket also. So a product line may consist of different type of brands, or a single family brand, or an individual brand, and it can be a line extended, example, life insurance. So now we exactly have different type of products which are there in the product line. So life insurance can be one of them. So this, now we come down to the next level, which is called as product type, and this would be different type of life insurances, like, for example, term life insurance. Okay, like that you have a locked period for which you are going to insure, or it could be annuity based, or it could be forever based. So item. Now this exactly is the last level. That is, this is the stock keeping unit or the product variant. And example, now for example, we've got prudential renewable term life insurance, or the LIC offering you a Jivan Bima or Jivan Suraksha, which exactly could be the different type of instruments which are offered by the different type of instrument companies. It could be from the same brand or line extension brand. Now, then we look in the product. This is called the product system and mixes. So we would also be looking at something called as product assortment. That is how products are actually assorted. So I would be looking at some sort of aspects in the context of product systems and mixes. So we will start with product systems, product mix, that is assortment, and within assortment we are going to be discussing something called the width of the product, the length of the product, the depth of the product, and the consistency of the product. So let's say, for example, a product mix. What is actually a product mix? It could be like various different type of products that are there. Like Godrej Agrovet Limited has a wide product planting material and a wide variety of retail brands. Like for example, the Real Good Chicken and Yummies. These could be the different type of retail brands coming from Godrej. Or the consumer product portfolio of Nirma Limited may consist of fabric care products, personal care products, food products, scarring products, etc., so on and so forth. So the company has different type of brands and variants. So the company's product mix has certain type of width, certain type of length, a depth, as well as consistency. Now we'll be taking up an example of Hindustan Unilever Limited. So let's look at some of the width that Hindustan Unilever Limited is actually providing to its consumers. So when I'm talking about width, let's refer to how many different product lines. When you're looking at the width, so how many lines are there in that width? Okay, so a width would mean if you've got a less width, you've got less product lines, but the more the width is, you've got more number of product lines that are there. So you must understand that the width actually is the amount of the product lines that exactly exist in the entire assortment or the product mix that exactly is there. So let's say, for example, I would try to say that a product's width of 11 lines. In fact, Hindustan Unilever Limited and other businesses also, like its Pureit range of water purifiers. Like for example, it might be offering you the different type of water purifiers. That could be one line. The cosmetics could be another line. Soap and detergents could be another one, or agro products could be another one. So these are the different type of lines that exactly are there. So the width actually talks about the number of lines that exactly exist between a specific brand. Now I'm going to talk about the line, and I'm going to discuss about the length of the line. That is, how long is the line. So the length in a product mix refers the total number of items that are there in the mix. So the number of items that exist in the line actually defines the length of the line. So let's say, for example, a product line has about 4 items. Then it will be called as a line which is a shorter line. But then there's a line with 12 items, that will be a longer line. Okay, so effectively one line, the number of items that are there in that line define the length of the line. Now, for example, I would be trying to tell you that there are 42 items that are there in a line. So that's a pretty long line. And the number of lines are 11. So there are 11 different categories of products that exactly are there. And these categories of products, so the entire line and width actually give you the assorted mix of the products. So the basic aspect is that the width defines the number of lines, and the length of the line depends upon the number of items that are there within that product line. So the number of different lines would be the different type of different products, that exactly the different variants of products that exist within that marketing assortment. Now let us look into the depth. Now here, depth of the product mix refers to how many variants are offered of each product line. If Lux comes in 4 variants, let's say the item here is Lux. Okay, so Lux has 4 variants. Now I'm talking about every item, which exactly is one of the elements in the product line. And this one line is from the multiple lines in the product width. So when I'm talking about an item called as Lux, now Lux has 4 variants. Now these 4 variants can be like, for example, you've got strawberry and cream, peach and cream, then you've got purple lotus and cream and Lux International. Now you must understand this is one set of items and the item has 4 variants. There could be 2 levels of packaging. One could be a smaller packaging, one could be a bigger packaging. Like one could be used for a smaller size, probably a 50-gram packaging, and one could be a standard 200-gram packaging could be there. So, but then they both are containing the same number of variants within the product line that is called as product item that is called as Lux. Then there is something which is called as consistency. Now, consistency of the product mix actually describes how closely they are related to the product lines in terms of end use, the production requirement, distribution channel, or HUL's product lines are consistent, and these consumer goods, they go to the same distribution channel. The lines are less consistent than their functions they perform in the functions they perform for the buyer. So like, let's say, for example, one line is Lux, one line is, I'll give you with a product mix example. So let's try to come up with something called as the personal care, home care, and food. These are the 3 lines. Okay. So let's look at the width. The first width is, we've got 3 broad lines. Now, 3 broad lines would be personal care products, the second would be the home care products, and the third would be the food products. Okay, these are the 3 lines. Now, within personal care, again, there has a certain amount of width. With this line is a pretty thick line, you can say. Okay, now this personal care has got personal wash, skin care and cosmetics, hair care, deodorant, and odor, that is oral care. Now, these are products that exactly are within the line personal care. Now, here, when I'm talking about oral care as a smaller line. Now, oral care has got 2 products, 2 items. One is called as Close-Up and Pepsodent, just 2. If I'm talking about deodorants, deodorant has 2, that is Axe and Rexona. If I'm talking about hair care has got 3, Sunsilk, Clinic Plus, and Clear. If I'm talking about skin care and cosmetics, it has got Fair and Lovely, Pond's, Vaseline, Aviance, Lakme, and Ayush. And if I'm talking about personal wash, then personal wash, it has got, the line is pretty long. And this long line has got something like about 6 or 7 items. And these items are starting with Lux, Lifebuoy, Liril 2000, Hammam, Breeze, Dove, Pears, and Rexona. So the longest line within the line of personal care is of personal wash. But when I'm talking about the smaller ones, they are deodorants and oral care. Now, this is in the context of personal care. Then I'm going to come down to home care. Home care has a thinner line, you can say. Now, these thin line can be divided into 2 lines. The first is fabric care and the second is kitchen and floor care. For fabric care, you've got Surf Excel, Active Wheel, Sunlight, Comfort, and Sunshine. And then for kitchen and floor care, you've got Domex, CIF, and Vim. So these are for home care. Now come down to the third line, which is part of the food. Now food has tea, coffee, food, and ice cream. So effectively, when I'm talking about product line from HUL in terms of the food line, tea has the longest line and ice cream and coffee has the smallest line. So for tea, you have got Brook Bond Red Label, you've got Lipton, you've got Brook Bond 3 Roses, you've got Brook Bond Taza, you've got Brook Bond Taj Mahal, and you've got Brook Bond Sehatmand. These are the a different type of tea, the different type of items in the tea line. When you're going to talk of coffee, you've got Brugman, Brew. That's exactly there. And for food, you've got Kisan, Nor, Annapurna, and Modern. And for ice cream, you've got just one that is called as Quality Walls. So effectively, this should give you an understanding of what exactly is meant by the width. What is meant by width is the number of lines that are there. Then every number of items in a line define the length of a line. And then within each item, you have got something which exactly is called as the depth and consistency. So effectively, when we are talking about the range of products, we exactly mean by the different type of product systems and mixes. And herein, we have got the different type of assortments. So effectively, when I'm talking about Wipro, I'm going to discuss with you at this point of time a small caselet, and we're going to be discussing something on Wipro. So Wipro, they started as one of India's well-known software company. If you remember Azim Premji, who happened to be the promoter for this brand called Wipro, it's a very interesting one. I don't think I have given any of you a case study on the brand Wipro. Probably a very, very interesting. If you all feel like you should read, you should definitely read something on Wipro. So Wipro actually was established in 1947 as a vegetable oil trading company. So that is how the name came, Vegetable Oil Trading Company, under the name of Western Indian Palm Refined Oil. That is what Wipro stands for. Western Indian Palm Refined Oils. And with the experience of trading in vegetable oil, the company decided to introduce value-added products like hydrogenated cooking oil, laundry soap, and wax and tin containers. So they're all related products which exactly were byproducts of the entire palm oil. And basically they came up with hydrogenated cooking oil, laundry soap, wax and tin containers. And the company thus began its journey as a consumer product company. The Santoor bathing soap brand, the flagship brand of this division, is one of the largest selling soaps in South India. Then it has got something called the Glucovita range of energy drink. And then there's a soap which is called the Chandrika range of Ayurvedic soap. It's also coming from Wipro. And then very interesting, it has diversified into a very interesting line that is called the Wipro Smart Light range of home lighting solutions. So today, Wipro has moved from palm oil to home lighting solutions. And among some of the product, later sensing an opportunity of business to business market, the company started manufacturing hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders under the division Wipro Infrastructure Engineering. When IBM vacated the Indian market in 1977, Wipro entered into the computer hardware business, manufacturing and marketing computers, including notebooks, laptops, desktops, and servers. Subsequently, the company started this Infotech division focusing on the range of software solutions. The division has grown up to be one of the most largest software firms in India. Wipro Lighting, another division of the company, focuses on lighting solutions and products for commercial and household applications. And the product strategy for the company indicates a diversified portfolio, straddling different businesses and utilizing market opportunities emerging at different points of time, created by evolving consumer need gaps and competitive vacuums. So effectively, you see a product line like Wipro. I was about to come up with another very interesting example about the Tatas. I will tell you that they had at one point of time, I think something like around 83 or 84 different type of lines, product lines were there. In Jamshedpur itself, you have got Tata bearings, you got Tata Yodogawa, you got Tata plates, you got Tata tubes, you got Tata power, you got Tata Timken, you got Tata Cummins, you got Tata steel, you got Tata motors. So there's basically, and even Lakme was earlier with Tata's only. And then you've got Tata Chemicals, just around the corner, very near Aligarh, in a place called Babrala, which was actually an offshoot of a company called Tomco, Tata Oil Mills Company Limited. So effectively, even we had Tata bearings that was there, we basically was bought by Tata Timkens. And Timkens bought it in Tata, then there was this Tata Cement, where I had a small amount of association for a very short stint of time with Tata Cements, where basically that was purchased by a French company called Lafarge. So effectively, they decided to do stick to knitting. That is, they decided to look into their core business, and they divulged many type of businesses which were there. They decided to sell it off. So effectively, that is more of a discussion for the strategy, business strategy, when you talk about consolidation, agglomeration, and amalgamation, the takeovers and the joint ventures. So, but basically, we're not going to diverse into that. But the idea is, I wanted to discuss about product systems and mixes. So I wanted to give you a feel of the different type of associations of the different products in terms of the width, the line, the length, the items that are there, the depth, and the consistency. So we are going to be discussing about certain type of aspects that are associated with it very quickly, because most of the things we have already had a discussion in the context of it. Now, this is called as product line analysis. That is how the sales are there from different product lines and what are the profits. Now, if you see the first one, the sales are very high, but the profits are very low. But the second line, the sales and profits are nearly equal. The third line, interestingly, the sales are less, but the profits are very, very high. And the fourth is again the very less amount of sales, but very high amount of profits. And the fifth is the similar sales and similar profits. So what is the type of business which should be promoted? Which line should be promoted and which line should be dropped? Can you tell me by looking at this graph?
So line number one.
So the line
Just
number
a minute,
three and line number four.
just a minute. Arma, I know like you're very excited, but we follow a protocol, because the about number of students there, many of them are not actually on my screen. So yes, Arma, go ahead. Arma, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So line number three and line number four should be promoted more. And other than that, I think line number two and line number five also are quite good investments.
Line number 5 and 2.
Line number three and line number four should be
Yes,
promoted
line
more
number
because
3 and 4, they have got a lot of potential, but the sales are coming low. They are selling
but sir,
less.
the less sales are resulting in higher profits.
Yes, no doubt about that. Less sales are resulting in a lot amount of profit, but then probably they may be actually boosted. But then the idea is, if you are going to boost those two products only, what do you think about 1 and 2?
Sir, the product number two is also quite good because the profit and sales are quite equal. But again, if I look at it, then again, like from the company's perspective, because the company's goal is to earn profits. So for them, three and four are better.
I'll tell you why. Okay, you did put forth that the company's objective is to earn profit. Okay.
Sir, I don't think 3 and 4 should be is an ideal solution because, for example, recently we saw in the case of the FMCG sector that the volume of sales actually went down, but the net amount due to inflation went up. So we can say that you had a lot of profit, but actually your sales are going down. In the long run, that will affect, I think, the company.
Okay, excellent. We had Kratika also trying to speak up something. Yes, Kratika?
So I was speaking the same thing that Sayantan and Arma has spoken up.
Okay. Anyone
But
else?
sir, I will say like we should better go for one because as we can say that it is getting sales. So there might be some like might become misconception because of which we are not able to get that much profit. So I think we should go for one as well as two because two has an equal thing. With the increment in sales, we are getting profit. So there is a correlation between the two. So according to me, fun and two should be promoted more in comparison to the other.
Now I'm going to just give you one small piece of insight. Now अभी आपका जो जितने भी आपने answers दिए हैं, you'll have to rethink about it. What is sales and what is profit? Sales is the revenue that is bringing in. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And profits is the difference between cost and
Revenue and cost.
Selling price, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Selling price minus cost price.
Yes, selling price minus cost price is actually profits. Okay. So effectively now, when you'll realize, I want you to think today, because I think we have overshot the time and we have actually crossed 45, so 145. So I want you to now, I've given you enough food for thought to think overnight, and we will address this issue tomorrow when we will rejoin the class. Okay?
Sir, sorry to interrupt, but tomorrow we do not have a class.
So that was a good interruption. You don't have to be sorry about it. So
So we have a class on Monday now because we are having holidays.
So okay, wishing you all a very, very happy Holi, and play safe and stay safe, and let's rejoin our session post Holi on Monday. Okay?
Sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, walaikum assalam.